Welcome to Bandit's Keep Actual Play. I'm Daniel. Today we are continuing my original Dungeons & Dragons solo campaign with the Mapper. So Vony, our master mapper, has 3 mappers. They're going to send them out in the field and let's see what they find. All right, so back to doing some mappers. Last time we did a mapper, we did Cedric, so we're going to do Vony's group now. Vony has these 3 mappers, plus she has 2 in reserve. She's 5th level, so that's all she can ever have. Well, unless she loses some, obviously. So we're not going to roll to see if she gets any new ones, even though today is November the 15th. Which means that these 2 maps, which were gotten by Cedric's people in October, are now potentially gone. So at the beginning of each month, or sometime during the month, I roll a d6. If I roll a 6, the map is sold to somebody that's not part of the campaign. It just goes away. Okay, this first map is sold. Check the second one. Also sold. Okay, so both of these maps are sold, which is actually making this very important that we're doing this today, because when I go to play more PCs, we're not going to have any maps left. So let me make a note that these were sold. I think I might have said it was 11:15, but it's actually 11:16. I guess I should look at my watch better. All right, put these off to the side. So now it's up to Vony's mapper. She has 3 of them that we're going to send out now to try to get some maps. If you haven't seen one of these before, there's a whole bunch of them mixed in with the playlist so you can get the hang of it, but I will try to kind of go through the mechanics as we go, but I'll probably go a little bit faster in this particular one because I think the last one with Cedric, we kind of walked through it slowly. So I basically have 3 mappers. The master mapper never goes out. They just send them out. A mapper, okay, these 2 are level 2. This one's level 1. That means they can go out into the field 2 dice worth of survival dice, which again, we'll talk about as we go. So that this will be Izab, and the second one will be Fumin, and then this third guy over here only gets 1 die because he's 1st level. Okay, we're just going to put them off to the side for now. So I know who's who, just, you know, for when we get to the end and they start collecting their treasure. So this is the order that they're in, from here to here, from here to here. So now, what we need to do first, the first step of the mapper, is to place the maps on the board. So the way I do this is, we've got 7 maps that we're going to put on the board. Actually, I'm going to use some of those dice. 4, 5, 6, 7. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll these 7 dice. And this is going to tell us what quadrants the maps are in. So sort them out here and I will just show you. So there's 1 map in section 1, which is up here. In section 2, we have 2 maps. In section 3, we have 2 maps. In section 4, there's 1. None in section 5, and there's 1 in section 6. Now, the other thing I do when I run 3 mappers like I'm doing today is I then put 1 map in each section. That way, if we get a mapper that comes into a section that doesn't have a map, they will at least have an opportunity to get 1 map. Okay. Now that I've put the maps in those sections, these are just extra. What we're going to do is I just kind of close my eyes and just kind of move them around. And if you're watching this for the first time and you're thinking, why don't I roll dice or something? Well, I've tried all those things. This just seems to work the best. I just kind of randomly place them using my, I just kind of scatter them across to kind of get them in the different parts of the map. Do this other side. This seems to work well. Like I said, I've rolled the dice before, and in the end, it kind of ends up looking roughly the same, and it takes a lot more work. All right, so now that that's done, the next thing we're going to do, I can give these guys back their dice. The next thing we're going to do after that is we're going to decide where each mapper's coming in. So this right here will be Izeb. I'm going to roll a d6. She's coming in section 5, which is this one, and there's really only 1 place. They come in the center of the map, so in section 5, there's only 1 place to come in, so she's going to come in right there. Now we're going to roll for our next mapper. 3. So 3, they could come in here or here. So high, low. High. Okay, they're going to come to the top of the map. And then finally, for our last mapper, I only counted if it rolls inside. 1. Okay, they're going to come in 1. And again, the top will be high, the side will be low. Low. Okay, they're coming in on the side. That is not a great place to come in. Kind of place them in the middle of the area. And so the way this works is, if it's your first time, again, I'm going to kind of go through some of it, is wherever the mapper comes in, so in this case here, they have to leave through that section. Not the same spot, but just somewhere up here. So they'll have to leave through here, they'll have to leave through there, and they'll have to leave through somewhere on that side. As we move through the game, these dice are going to count down. If they ever are eliminated, the mapper is lost. That's basically the way the mapper can die in the field. Otherwise, there's no real combat in this. It's more just avoiding monsters. So let's do this. We're going to start with this first mapper, and we're going to work our way through. The very first thing we do, I use the search scenario. So we roll a d6, and depending on what we get, 5. So 3, 4, or 5 is start in any direction. After moving 1 or more hexes, you may make 1 direction change if desirable. Move as far as possible. So what that means is I have to use all my movement, and I have 6 points of movement here with this character. And these aren't centered in the squares. Make sure they're in the spots. And once we do that, that'll be the end of that movement phase. So I can turn once. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's nice about this is, so I'm going to use a little trick here. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I turn once, 5. Now I have to use all my movement, but this would take 7 to get there because this counts as 2. So this will actually allow me to stop on the map. So I'm going to do exactly that. Ooh, that's a good one. If it has words on it, that means it's a magic and treasure map. So they're going to land on that map. Now, once I've moved them, the next step is to turn this die down. If there's more than one die, you just do one at a time. And then we roll a d6 to see if there's an encounter. Because they are in the clear, and here we're using OD&D. Because they're in the clear, there's only an encounter on the roll of a 6. 3, no encounter. So what that means is we're basically good there. But now we have to deal with outdoor survival. We didn't get any food, so I'll slide that down. But there is a chance that we just automatically find water using the search scenario. That is if we roll a 1 or a 2 on a d6. No, so water also goes down. And that's the end of their turn. So now to the next character, this one over here. Oops. I moved the wrong stuff. That's okay. Doesn't matter. We're just going to treat that as their move. Now they just realized that. I'm sure people watching are probably like, what are you doing? And I'm going to do exactly... We're just going to go out of order for this first one because I don't feel like retconning all that. Okay. Back to there. All right, so now we're going to do this character, which is really that one. And we're going to go for it. Again, we're going to roll a d6 to see their movement. They got a 4. Again, 3, 4, 5 means that they have to move their maximum. They can turn once if they want. They have 2 dice, which means they have a decent chance of actually getting multiple treasure maps if I'm careful. But if I go for this one, that's probably the only one they're going to get, because there's no way I'm going to get that one. And then get over to here. Maybe. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do, but if I get this one and I'm not rolling well, what I was thinking is I could actually get up to this one and then come back, because I could recharge at this house. And that might actually allow them. So they're only going to get 2 no matter what. So I think the safer bet is this one. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're going to stop there. So again, now they're in the mountains. And what I'm going to do, actually what I'm going to do for myself, for my own keeping track of things, is I'm just going to... No, I don't want to do that. I'm going to leave it the way it is. After this turn, I'll start with the yellow person. All right, so yeah. So they have moved. So it's this one here. They're ended up in the mountain. So I'm going to turn this down to 5. Okay. They did not pass through food, so that goes down. Did they find water? They did not. That also goes down. So now the next step here is I need to check for wandering monster. Now in the mountains, the chance of encounter is on a 4 through 6. So it's a pretty good chance of an encounter. 3, no encounter. Whew. Okay, their day ends. They're good. Now let's move over to our last mapper, the one over there on the other side. Roll a d6. They get a 1, which is one of the worst things. A 1 or a 2 means you can't make any direction changes. But I don't think they were going to make a direction change anyways because they're kind of in a bad spot. They're in the desert here. So desert counts 2 per movement. So again, I could try to go down this way and stop at this house and try to get those, but that just seems like it'd be a fool's errand. Since I can leave anywhere on this side, my best bet is going after this one right here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I stop. This drops down to 5. Oop, kind of messes up a little bit. Let's see. We didn't find any food, so I'll move that over. Let's see. Did they find any water? I have a die over here. I'm just going to roll it so I don't have to. Okay, did they find any water? They did not. And we're in the desert. I'm just going to roll the d6 here. 1. So I know 1's not an encounter because encounters are always on high, but let me just check what the desert encounter is. I think it's 4 through 6. Desert is 5 or 6. So no encounter. That ends their day. And we're back at the beginning. So again, I'm going to go with this character. So that's 1 day has gone by. All right. Two. All right, that's straight line, no turns. That's not great for them. Oh, actually, they're pretty lined up with this thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, normally when you go into a path, so the paths are really interesting. When you enter a path from a side, they count as the terrain. So it costs me 2 to get in there. But once you're in a path, even if you're not able to turn, you can still turn according to outdoor survival rules. So that means I can actually follow the path because I'm on it. And I'm going to do just that. And I'm going to go there for 6. I'm going to stop there, which means I'm stopping on food and water. So I found food and water, so I'm not going to move that. I'm going to count this down to 4. I am going to check for wandering monster, though. On a path, it's on a 5 or a 6. 6. Okay. We now have an encounter. So this is important because since I stopped on food and water, I can actually reset my food and water if I don't get stuck here. If I don't get run off, I should say. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out what kind of monster it is. We are in the woods. So I'm going to roll a d8. I can't imagine it, but I'm just going to very softly put that there. I'm going to roll a d8. 1. 1 in the woods is men. And I'm going to roll a d12. We have typical men. 9. Brigands. Okay. So we're coming across some brigands. This is from Monster and Treasure. We're going to look at all men are between 30 and 300. Now we want a high number here because it helps with the evasion. Oh, 9. Okay, perfect. So that is 270 of them. So now when we look at our evasion rules, we can see that we're a group of 1. There's over 60% of the total amount that could be there. We have a 90% chance to avoid them. We also get a bonus of 25% because we're in the woods, so we have over 100% chance to evade them. Now, the only factor here would be as if we're surprised, but I always say that, like, there's no way 270 bandits are surprising a single person. So I'm going to say that we can evade them and we're good. However, we're going to roll now a percentile die to see if this is their lair. 83, it's not. Okay, so that ends their turn. Now we're going to go up to our blue character, which is this person. And I think what they're going to do, that's on a piece of mountain, but I think it's still worth it. They've got plenty of life here. So they're actually going to make a move and try to get this next one here. So let's roll a d6 to see what we get for movement. 6. Well, 6 is great. I don't know if it's going to help us right now. 6 allows you to... Actually, it will because I'm going to arrange myself in such a way. 6 allows us to move as make as many turns as we want, but more importantly, 6 allows us to stop. That is, to not use all of our movement. So what I'm going to do, since this is a mountain range and costs 3, this would be, I'm going to count backwards. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want my guy to stop here. That way, next turn, he can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Actually, no, I want him to end. Oh, I can't do that, can I? Oh, no, I can. I can get into the forest, I think. I want them to end here. So can I do that? I think I can. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll stop there. I can make the choice to do that. Next turn, no matter what I roll, I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and land on that one. Now, that all assumes, this counts down to 4, a couple of things. Number 1, I did not find food. Did I find water? I also goofed up on the other guy. I'll come back in a second. I did not find water, so my movement's actually going to drop to 5. So that actually actually thwarts my plan. So I actually can't do what I was trying to do. Well, that's a bummer. Now, the other thing is, do we have an encounter? In the woods is an encounter on a 5 or a 6. So do we have an encounter? We do not. All right, that's the end of their turn. I am going to jump back because I goofed up here a little bit. Because they stopped on both food and water, these actually reset. Okay, that's the only thing. Now we're moving on to our final character. I'm going to roll a d6 to see their movement. 3. So, of course, 3 allows us to move. We have to move our full movement, but we can turn once. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not going to be good for us because we can't. We actually want to end because we're about to lose movement as well. Well, no, actually we're not because we found water that one time. Go this way maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, it's still not going to allow us to stop on that because that'd be 1 and then all that. So we might actually have to go past it and then come in a little bit. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to do that. And that works for me. So we did not pass over food. Did we find water? We did. Okay, excellent. He's been finding a lot of water. This guy. And now do we have an encounter? Only on a 6. We do not have an encounter. So their day ends. They're the most tricky character because they can only stay out here for 1 die worth of turns, which is not a lot. All right, that's day 2. Okay, back to our yellow character here. I'm going to roll a d6, hoping for a 6. Got a 3. Okay, so 3 means I can turn once, but I have to use my full movement. Okay, so nope, that'll make me pass it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can't get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm actually going to go here. I'm kind of trying to circle around. Okay, this drops down to 3. I did not pass food. Did I find water? No. Water also goes down. Okay, our blue guy okay, that's good. Do we have an encounter? I'm in the clear only on a 6. No encounter. Okay. That's a yellow guy done. Blue guy. Again, his movement's only 5 now, which means he didn't do what he wanted to do. Got a 3, so I can turn once. Can probably still set myself up. 1, 2, 3. Can't go there. And then, okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and this would be 4, 5, 6, so I can't do that, so I have to stop there, which is good, because I'm hoping to set myself up. If I can turn once next turn, I can get that one. So let's flip this to 3. Did not find food. Did I find water? I hope so. Did not. Okay, that's not ideal. I might have to retreat off the board. Do I have an encounter? Only on a 6. An encounter. Okay. Let's see what it is. Use this. We're in the clear. So it's a D8. 6 is men. So again, all men are the same. So I will roll. No, actually, that's not true because I might roll like a patriarch or something. 9 brigands again. Okay, same thing. How many are there? Ha, same thing. 270. So here I only have a 90% chance to evade them. So 57, I evade them. Is this their base? 18, it's not. Okay. That's the end of him. So now our other guy over there, let's roll a d6. Hoping for a 6 here. Come on, 6. 1. Oh no, that's the worst possible thing. So I have to move my full movement in one direction with no turns. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm actually going to do that. I know I'm going into the mountains, which is dangerous, but then I think 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to miss it no matter what, even if I do that. Well, I already made the move, so we're there. Do I find food? Do I find water? Nope. An encounter is 4, 5, or 6 in the mountains. There is not an encounter. This drops down to 3. All right. Oof. That guy might just have to retreat off the board. We'll see. He's got time. I hope. All right. Okay, back to yellow. If you've been enjoying these actual play videos, please do take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, do all the good YouTube stuff. Also check the description. Down there you will find a link to most of, if not all, the tools I use for this game. If there's something I'm using and you don't see it down there, let me know. I'll try to find a link. Not everything I use is available really, but most of it is. Also, if you want, pick up one of my t-shirts. There should be a link down there for my t-shirts as well if you're interested in supporting the channel. I'll talk to you soon.